How are you this week, Spoker?
I'm really good. How are you, Lance?
Oh, I'm alright. I always edit this bit out anyway, so I don't even know why we
Yeah, I
do it. I
know.
know how you are.
Yeah, we
So,
do talk quite often,
no, we
weirdly
don't.
enough.
No, we do not. We never talk.
Yeah, we do.
Outside of this podcast, we hate each other.
Yeah,
We're chucking rocks at each other from over the ocean,
yeah.
just in the
Throwing
hope
stones at
that
each
one
other's
might skim.
windows.
And right, three, two, one. Do 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 do. Hello and welcome to Talking on the Couch, our weekly podcast where we talk about things from around the world. This week we are going to do the Winter Olympics since we just had
Yay!
them. Woo! Remember, you can check out our other channels. So we've got the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitch, the Twitter, Discord. If you want to follow us on Discord or join our chats, it's
TikTok.
discord.gg/TGS39DNUB3. We've got the YouTube, we've got the Blue Sky, and remember, you can listen to or watch this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, or Apple Podcast. Any of those will do.
Ooh.
Remember to leave a comment and 5 stars. Yeah, the
Yep.
5 stars is the main thing that we need. I don't care if you put you're a bunch of ball bags. Put that 5 star. 5 star is the important part of the thing there. No one ever does that. We've had comments on
No.
there in the past, but they're not putting 5 star. We need that 5 stars on there. Walker, go and put 5 stars in there right now.
Yes, boss. On which place? Where?
Spotify. You know, when
Uh,
you type in Spotify and then you
uh,
go to into the search and you can type in press back to continue to find out full channel, or you can type in talking on the couch and look for our little logo, which is basically a picture of us sitting on the couch and it says talking on
yeah.
the couch across it, or you can find it on our actual logo, which is the PBTC. Right, Spooker, Winter
That's my
Olympics.
name.
I know you've got
Yep.
some funny stories and facts about Winter Olympics this week.
I do, Lance. I do indeed.
You do, because
I do
yours were
indeed.
actually quite similar to mine, so I'm guessing you just typed it in Google, same as I did.
No, no, I researched this wildly. It took me
You went all the
hours.
way to the Irish Library.
Yep, I researched it in paper books. Do you remember that,
Yeah,
kids, when we had paper and books?
paper.
Anyway, so my first fact about the Winter Olympics in the 2006 Winter Games, Lance, USA's Lindsay Jacobellis wiped out during the women's snowboard cross finals, losing a 50-yard lead after trying to perform a method grab trick on the second to last jump. This caused Switzerland's Tanya Frieden to pass her, and Lindsay ended up winning silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the issue with that? She was going for a big run.
Yeah, you don't do tricks when you're on a race. The
Mm,
snowboard cross is where there's like 4 or 5 people start off at the top, and you literally have to race each other down the hill, and
yeah, but
first one
you
across the
want to
line
race with
wins.
style, don't you?
Yeah, but it's not even like a time trial.
You know what I actually found funny about that?
Oh,
The woman that actually did it does do tricks on the snowboard, and she
yeah,
still managed
but
to. It's called wiping out, isn't
for
it, on a snowboard?
for people who have snowboarded before, there's a very, very big difference between a board that you cruise on, a board that you trick on, and a board that you speed race on.
Yeah,
A speed race board, it's very, very difficult to do a trick on because it's literally designed for you to go on a straight line down a hill.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I used to do skateboarding, and
yeah,
if you race on a skateboard, you never ever do a trick. The
yeah.
most you can do is an ollie, but
It's a
because the
completely separate setup. Even the way your feet are positioned on a downhill board for racing, your feet are nearly parallel with each other, facing
mm,
forward. Where if you're on a trick board, your feet are sort of
should be sideways.
your toes are like pointing in both directions.
Got your toes
Just
pointing
that
both directions.
your left foot's pointing to the left and your right foot's pointing to the right. I'm not
Is it?
talking like a huge amount of distance. Like I'm talking
I,
maybe like an
in my head,
11-degree angle. Like
in my head, I've just got someone with reverse feet.
no,
One one's pointed out, the other one's twisted all the way around.
I know what my when I go on a snowboard, my left foot is my forward foot. So if you're right footed, your left foot goes forward. Um, and I think my toes are at 13 degrees from my left foot forward.
That's a bit
and
weird because in skateboarding it's the
my
opposite. I'm
back foot.
right-handed, so my right foot
Yeah,
goes forward.
yeah, it's the opposite on snowboarding for some reason. And
No, that doesn't
then
make sense to me.
yeah, because most of the time when you're going at speed, you're going on your toe edge.
But again, that's the
Because
same with skateboarding. You use your
yeah, but you
toes
don't
to
go on.
control the board.
Yeah, but you don't go on the edge of the board. You're not scraping the edge of the board along the ground.
No,
You're
but
still
you
on a
are.
you're still on a relatively flat plane.
Mm, I don't know. I think I'd
Anyway,
much rather
it
have my
actually
right foot forward.
it actually makes sense if when you're on a snowboard that's the way it goes. It just makes sense
No,
when
because
you
in skateboarding that's called switch, and it's the same in snowboarding actually when you have the opposite feet around
yeah.
it.
But
Switch.
if your regular stance, your left foot is forward.
See, that just doesn't make sense to me because
Yeah, but that's
your
the way it is,
front
honest.
foot is used for control, which would be your predominant foot, and you want control
No, you
over the
see,
board.
it's not for your turns on a snowboard. You push with your back foot. That's how you turn a snowboard.
See,
You
that would be
push more with your
goofy
back foot.
stance in skateboarding.
No, if you push with your back foot to turn the board, because you're not turning the front of the board, you're sliding the back of the board around to go
Mm.
to go parallel with the mountain. The more parallel
See,
you are with the mountain, the
that
slower you
makes
go.
more sense.
Yeah,
It's the same,
because
I can't ski for shit.
you're not really driving with your front foot. You're guiding the board with your front foot, but you're not actually putting any power into it.
Ah, right. That makes
Whereas
sense. So this is Sporker just
if you're
explaining
racing,
snowboarding for anyone that's tuned in for a comedy podcast.
but if you're
Sporker's giving you a
racing on a
snowboarding lesson.
if you're racing on a snowboard, your 2 feet are parallel, pointing forward down the mountain.
Right. At my age and my body, the only thing I can do is roll down the bastard hill. I
Yeah.
am not going to be able to race on a snowboard. If
No.
anything, my snowboard is going to dig into the snow just because of fat boulders coming down the mountain. That's about it. So I will create my own ramps as I go down. That's all that's going to happen. Um, but yeah, she was basically
Anyway, that's
showing off, wasn't she?
yeah.
She
She was
thought she was so
showboating.
far in the lead that
Yeah.
she's.
She was showboating. She thought, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a winner. Yay! Do a jump
She
splat.
wasn't a winner.
Oh no! Yeah." And then it took her another 16 years to get a gold medal.
She's
Yeah.
not the only one that's done that this Olympics though, and a few people have
That wasn't
nearly
this
lost out.
Olympics. That was in 2006.
Or was that 2006? Well, this
Yeah.
year, a few of them have done it where they've got to the end and they're waving at the audience beside them,
Yeah.
and the audience is going, "What are you doing? Go, go!
Yeah.
The card's
You've
right
seen.
there."
I've seen it loads of times in like marathons and stuff where people
Yeah, they're
start
waving at
showboating in
people, and you
marathons.
just think, we watched one of these skiing like cross country races,
Mm.
and the geezer was at the end of the race, and he's waving, and you just see the geezer behind look at him waving, and just suddenly leg it, and me and Mary are sitting there watching, going, he's gonna lose that first place, and the guy looked over his shoulder at the last second, and suddenly he went. It was amazing.
What a
I
dope.
just, I remember at school doing PE lessons and stuff. I know it's not the same level as the Olympics or whatever,
Yeah,
but the teacher,
slightly less, but like
yeah,
similar.
yeah, PE Olympics, yeah, we might as well. Um, it's the teacher always taught us it's not over until it's over.
Yeah.
Don't become complacent
Oh
at
yeah.
the end. Because how many times have we done a mission, say in Fortnite or say in any other game where we've done a mission, we've got so close to the end and then we both
Hmm.
just died? How many second places have we got on Fortnite because we just were
Oh,
pissing around?
it's not even that we're pissing around. It's like, oh yeah, there's two of us. There's only one guy left, but that one
Oh
guy
yeah, and
happens to
then
be a bot, and he
one
can
shot in the
shoot you through
face.
fucking houses
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
shotgun at
Well, like
500 meters away.
the arc gun that actually travelled through the mountain for me and just
Oh,
hit
that
me
was
through a
hilarious.
mountain.
Yeah, I've seen the whole thing happening. I was like,
Uh,
"You're there. How'd that guy hit me?" I was like, "I was standing behind him, and he hit you through the mountain. You just fired at the ground."
yeah. So don't get complacent at the end.
Yep.
It's common, just common courtesy as well. Like your opponents are trying their best. They're trying their hard. Don't rub it in that they're not winning. It's just rude.
Yeah,
Um.
it's rude. So
Right.
anyway,
So
that
what
was
was
the
that fact?
story of Wait, hold on, I'll go back to it. That was the story of Lindsay Jacobellis in the 2006 Winter Games, where he showboat and tried to do a trick in a race, and she failed. Epic fail.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Right, so I'm going to do, once I've managed to find it, I'm going to do this one. So
I'm
during
glad we've come
the,
prepared.
I was looking at my pictures. Because I was just looking through my pictures, then going, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Because I've got like 50 screenshots because I have to
Yeah, I
send you
know.
all the stuff. And right, so this one, this is a speed. This was in 2002, by the way, the Winter Olympics 2002. Australian speed skater. So what? Yeah, I know you know this one because this one was on your list, wasn't it as well?
I actually
Um,
seen this live as
I,
well.
did you? I've seen it on
Yeah.
clips and stuff, and
No,
it
I
is
actually
funny.
seen this live.
I was quite fairly young. I was in my teenage years,
Hmm.
but fairly young at the time. Right, so this the speed skater from Australia, and basically he wasn't in the lead, and he
Hmm.
won. And the reason he won is because on the final corner, every other competitor fell over. I think the guy
Yeah.
at the front fell over, and then the
They all
others went
crashed
into
in.
him,
They all
and then
crashed each other. He wasn't
yeah,
only not in first place. He wasn't even in contention for a medal.
yeah, I
He
know
was
he was
like
way behind.
He was in dead last.
Yeah, and so yeah, all four leaders fell over. So that was Apollo, Ono, Matteo Turncoat, Arn Hunsu, and they
And
all
Li
fell over.
Jijun.
They all fell over at the final turn, and this allowed Stephen Bradbury, who was the Australian speed skater, to just stroll on by and get a gold medal.
Yeah.
He didn't
He
even need to
he
go
just
quick, did he?
skated like he was on one of them like skating rinks at Christmas time, you know, the on ice things that they be in like shopping centres. He's just like, yay! I think he even had one of them little penguin push things so he didn't fall over.
Yeah. So it goes, as it goes past. I would have loved to have been there to watch it like that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they all got? Where were they from? The people that fell over? I
Oh,
don't
there was
know if
like
it.
I think there was a Chinese one for sure. There was like there was a French guy. There was they were all like the sort of top stars of that game. Like probably a Swiss one as well. Like
I can only assume by the name they're Eastern Asian, like
yeah,
Li
Li
Juanjun.
Juizhuan is probably like Chinese and
That could be Korean, Chinese. It's Eastern. Let's go with Eastern
yeah,
Asia. I'm not sure about Apollo
Eastern
Ono.
Asian. Yeah,
I'm gonna just type in where Apollo Ono is from. Um,
Switzerland.
I just like the name there, Apollo. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh no, I've
Oh no.
fallen
Oh,
on
he's
the ice.
American.
Okay.
So we got one
And
American.
Matthew Turcotte is either French or Swiss,
Matteo
I'd say.
Turncoat. Let's have a look.
I'd say French
Uh,
or Swiss.
you could have done this while while I was
Could have done,
talking.
yeah. Yeah, could have.
Matteo Turncoat is Canadian.
Hmm.
So it's probably
Oh,
the
that was
French
close.
Canadian region.
French Canadian.
Quebec, yeah.
Yeah.
So that French, that's French Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they all just crashed into each other. Who was the first guy to fall over? Do you remember?
I can't remember. It was like I was 19 once.
I wish I had the actual clip now, but it would have been so funny watching that. But they're
Mm-hmm.
quite lucky they didn't get an injury because those blades are sharp.
Mm.
I've got a scar on my thumb because
Mm-hmm.
when I was 13, 12, 13, because I used to do speed skating when I was a kid. And before I got fat, I was actually quite quick on my feet, because I was amazing at legging it from
Sure.
my mum who wanted to beat me. But
Sure.
basically, I went ice skating with my friends, and one of my slightly older friends, I think he was like 14, 15, and I was 12, 13, so I can't remember the exact ages. But basically, he saw this girl that he thought was good looking, so he asked
Mm-hmm.
me to go get a number. Always ask the autistic kid to go get somebody's number. Always works
Yeah.
out really well for you. So I got off the
Give me
ice.
a number.
Can I have your number, please? Um, my friend thinks you're pretty. No, I got off the
You're a
ice.
pretty lady.
I would, you know what? It was really difficult to even talk to anyone properly at that age. It really was. So it literally just would have been a mumble while I was looking at my feet. I don't know why he asked me. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It's kind of the same for
I got
everybody at
off
that
the
age.
ice. I got off the ice and went up to the girl, and basically just said, "Excuse me," really young, obviously, high pitched voice. And as I said it, she turned around, and my foot just went, yeah, screw this. And I just fell over, and the blade went through my thumb and the
Nice,
ice
nice.
skating boot. It really hurts, and I've got a scar to this day. So it hasn't healed because it went through pretty much the bone. It really hurt, that did. I don't even know what happened. I was up and then I wasn't. Just my foot
Yeah.
just literally gave up on life. And needless to say, he didn't get the girl's number.
No, probably not. And
I
it was
got the
all your fault.
I got the paramedics number, 999.
Hmm. Or 112, everybody.
But no, it was a good day, that was. I used to like going there. They had phone parties and stuff. That was their Solihull ice rink. Don't know if they still
Yeah,
do
I
it.
don't like.
But I
They
just
have
look.
ice rinks over here in the winter time, like at Christmas time.
Oh, we've got ice skating rinks all around here. There's loads.
No, I think there was like one or two in Dublin, and that was it. Like, and
Is
they
it?
closed down in the 90s.
Yeah. The reason I ask where these people were from, though, is because I wanted to know if they're going to get their asses beaten when they get back to their countries or not.
Mm.
Like some places when their athletes get back, if they haven't got a gold medal, they're a
Yeah,
dishonour to everybody. But it's a lot less common now to have that. I think when we was watching
yeah.
this Winter Olympics,
Well,
some
the
of the
main
countries before
country
it
that done
started,
that's not allowed in the Olympics anymore. So
yeah, um, yeah. But some of the support that I saw, some of the teams showing from the sideline, me and Mary are pretty sure some of them were taking something because they was bouncing up and down and they were tripping balls. I'm telling you now, they
yeah.
were on something. Who was it? The celebrations at the end. There was one singer, and it was a slow song, and he was just going for it. I think he was listening to something different to
Well, like the
everybody else.
Americans had like all their like cheer section. Like Snoop Dogg was there for the Americans in one of their things. There was
Mm,
another guy, another famous rapper, was like the pep guy for like the bobsleigh and Skellington
I don't
team.
know.
I can't remember what his name was, but
I
apparently he's
just
gonna try and
all,
train
all
to
I
do
can
the
remember from
luge.
the ending was someone was tripping balls, but he was a singer. And he was
Yeah,
doing a slow song, but his arms were not going slow by any means. And I was just
sounds about right.
me and Mary wanted whatever he was on because it must have been some strong stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, so that was the speed skater Stephen Bradbury who accidentally won because everybody else fell over at the final turn. Spooker, your next fact.
Okay, this is a fun one. This year, Lance, this year, the World Anti-Doping Association, or WADA, is
Yeah, heard of them.
investigating claims that male ski jumpers inject their penises with hyaluronic acid in a scandal dubbed Penisgate by the German outlet Bild.
So why are they actually doing it?
So basically, they inject their penises
No, I
with,
got that bit. That's the bit I don't want to picture, which has now become a core memory.
yeah.
Thanks for that.
So basically, it enlarges the penis
No, I get
for a
that. Yeah.
while, yeah. So when they're getting fitted for their ski suits for the ski jump, they're supposed to be like skin tight, like stupid sexy Flanders.
Yeah.
So they're
Didn't fit
skin
train
tight,
days.
and so they get fitted for it. But when their penis goes back to its normal size, they've got a baggy crotch. And in science, people with science have investigated this fact, and the bagginess of the crotch area of the ski suit can lead to an advantage of up to 5 meters extra distance because of the aerodynamics of the suit changing.
5 meters.
Yeah,
So why, if that's the case, why do they have to wear all that spandex shite? Why not just go in baggy ass clothes? You'll get like 100 meters distance then, won't you?
because part of the rules is that you wear the skin tight stuff.
No, I don't accept that.
But that's the rules, Hans.
I don't know. Why is that a rule?
Because
Why?
you don't want somebody going in with a squirrel suit. They come off the end of the ski jump and go 14 miles.
That'd be amazing.
You know, it's not really like, it sort of defeats the purpose of the sport. It's
That'd be
supposed to be like
amazing,
that.
wouldn't
He's off. See you
it?
tomorrow.
Here's Eddie the Eagle. Down he goes. There he goes. Oh, and he's gone. He's going to land somewhere where you'll find out in an hour.
Yep.
Can you imagine the local town as all the skiers just float on by going, ah!
Eddie the Eagle competed in the 70-meter and the 90-meter jump.
Yeah. Oh, I've watched a film with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, and he
And
finished dead last in
I've,
both.
I've met Eddie the Eagle as well on an
Oh yeah.
online video conference call. But
Mm,
that's a story for a different time. But
yep.
I just
Maybe next week.
that 5 minutes. That's quite a distance for
It's
a
quite
baggy
like
PP.
it's the difference. Like basically, like if you watched any of the ski jumping, like there's only about 5 meters in the difference between the guy who finished last
Yeah.
in the event in the final and the guy that finished first. So,
It's for them
but
to
apparently
estimate it.
there's been no evidence that this method has been used in the Olympics this year that
Apart
they
from
are
the guy that
investigating.
turned up there and he had a 7 inch,
with,
and now suddenly he's
with
got a 12 inch.
he showed up with parachute pants that like
And the guy with all the holes going along the shaft.
yeah.
It's
No, because you
yeah.
see, but when they get to the Olympics, they're back to their normal size, and that's what
Why
makes the
not just
crotch baggy, because they have to get fitted a certain amount of weeks
yeah?
before for their
Because it all
suits,
needs
and it
checking
has to
and
be
stuff.
like, yeah,
So
it's like the way boxers get like for their weigh-in, they have to that's their weight for it, but like
yeah, but
they
my
sweat
question
weight off
there
and
is that
stuff.
they investigated it and obviously
Yeah,
found it didn't happen. However, my question is, why did it have to go to investigation? Because surely the person fitting the suit to be checked and everything has to be an Olympic official because
yeah,
of the rules. So why didn't
yeah.
they look down and go, "You've got a raging erection there. Do you want to
No,
sort that
it's
out
not an
first?"
erection. It just makes the entire thing swollen. It's not that it's erect. It's just swollen.
Okay, so they'll look at him and go, "Why does your penis look like an inflated balloon?"
Because it doesn't change like the shape of it or anything. It just looks like a bigger dick.
I, why did your penis look like an inflated sausage balloon?
Yeah,
Well,
but that's just the way my penis looks.
it's
You know.
definitely. Why is it red and throbbing? And it's got
You
it.
see, you see,
It's
that's not the
living
way hyaluronic acid
independently.
works. Like women get hyaluronic acid, like
You had to look at what
injected
it was
in.
called then again, didn't you?
They get that injected into their face and stuff, and there's like stuff in cream. It just makes it more plump.
So women get erection juice put into their face.
It's not erection juice. It's
Is
an
it making
actual
someone's pee pee
thing.
bigger?
No, it makes their face bigger, so they don't need filters on like Snapchat or
No, no,
whatever.
no. For the Olympians, is it making their pee pee bigger?
Yeah,
So it's erection juice then.
but that's what hyaluronic acid does.
Why not just take Viagra?
Because you see, it's not the suit's not measured by a person. The suit is measured with 3D scanners.
Okay, so he has to
All
stand
right,
in a
have the
booth butt
beauty.
naked. Surely the 3D scanner then goes, "What's that? That's abnormal." I can't go through the airport without getting someone having to pat me down because I've got scar tissue on my hip because I grew
Yeah.
abnormally quick as a teenager. So I've got scar tissue, which means the metal detectors always go off because they also scan for abnormal tissue at the same time. So surely if
Oh,
they're
that's
using
great. So if
3D,
I go through the scanner at the airport, they're just gonna go, "Why do you look like you shed your skin yearly from the belly down?" I was like, "It's not. It's a scar from where I had a massive operation."
why have you got extra organs there, Smoker? Are you
Hold
smothered in
on, you're not a
figures?
regular human.
But
You're a
you get what I mean.
superhuman.
Surely that scanner then can detect the abnormal skin around that area.
But it's not abnormal skin. Hyaluronic acid is a natural thing that occurs in your body.
Yeah, but not
It
in those
keeps your
quantities.
it keeps your cell plump, but they're not doing like blood tests on them because it's not
Well, they
like the
do
World
doping tests.
Anti-Doping. They only do like random testing.
Well, no, everyone should have it. If you're, if I know people say, "Oh no, you need to trust and all that sort of stuff," but if you're in a competition that's a worldwide thing that you basically competing to be the best in the world,
Yeah.
surely you take some precautions that are quite reasonable and understandable, just to say, "Can we just test you?" Just in case.
Hmm.
It's not like if you did it to absolutely everybody, you're not singling
You
anyone
see,
out, then, are you?
I think it's only something that's come to light now, so they probably will have massive restrictions on it because it was one plastic surgeon has come out and confirmed that he'd done this for a ski jumper, but he wouldn't name who it was.
But this is like China a few years back that
So
got
like
caught
everybody
doping.
is going to be tested for it. Well, no,
Yeah,
that's the same as Russia. They're not allowed to
yeah,
go into the Olympics because of state-sponsored doping.
Yeah, because of doping and stuff, and Russia also bribed the officials, didn't
Yeah,
they, the judges? But that was years ago, and I'm sure they're a
that was
very
years and years ago.
civilized and democratic state now that would never do that. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sure. That's why they're allowed in it again, or not.
uh, that whole thing just confuses me. I just don't understand. But basically,
But
what you're saying is
that's just
people.
basically what the World Anti-Doping Organization does. Every year, there's like a whole raft of different things come out that people are trying to cheat with, and they just have to try and keep up with it. That's
It's like
this year's
Formula One.
thing. Yeah, this year's thing is this penis gate thing. So like
Penis
they'll
gate.
I'm gonna
Opening the
say
gates for your
something.
PP, are you?
You are not to laugh. I'm gonna say it. So the World Anti-Doping Organization are gonna knock this thing on the head, and
Shut up. Come on, carry on.
yeah.
Fuck's
So
sake.
it'll be a loophole that like will be investigated and it'll be stopped. So
So basically, a load of male athletes are going to have their PPs investigated for
yeah,
being too large.
it was like back in the 70s when snowboarding started first. The first guy that won the downhill snowboarding, the giant slalom and snowboarding, he got a drug test after he won the gold medal and he was
Oh
caught
yeah,
using marijuana. And like
it's a good job that's not on my stories, isn't it, Sporker? Because he
yeah, well
got
I knew it
he
wasn't on
tested
your
positive
stories
for
because you sent
THC.
me the list of your stories.
Yeah, I
He
know.
got yeah, but it was given back to him 2 days later because they did the appeal. They just went, well, actually, marijuana isn't actually on your list of banned substances.
It is now. Um,
It is now, yeah, but that's what I mean. It is now because of that instance.
yeah, it
He
makes
owns
perfect
quite
sense.
he owns quite a well profiting cannabis producing company in the US today.
Nice.
That
Let's
guy,
not go
yeah.
into the name because I don't know it either. I don't know
No,
what company he
I don't
owns,
have a
but
clue who the name
and
of the
I
guy
wouldn't be
is,
able
and I
to
don't
name
know.
other ones to give it fair
No,
trial.
no.
Anyway, so what was that fact, Sporker?
Ski jumpers are getting hyaluronic acid injected into their PPs to make them bigger when they're getting fitted for their suits, and then they shrink down, and the crotch of the suit then acts like a sail.
See, in my head, I genuinely thought you meant that it was at the Olympics, and I just imagined a lot of skiers walking around, and they've got their ski lines, and then just a third line in the middle, just as it
but
goes
that,
through.
that would also tie in well to the other news story.
Yeah. Anyway, right.
Yeah.
I'm actually not going to do the one I said to you earlier.
Okay.
I don't think because I'm just tying into what we were just talking about a little bit actually. Uh, Not in very broad terms. So this one is Russia in 2014 Olympics in Canada. So the Russians,
Uh-huh.
uh, millions of people in Russia stayed awake all night when it was minus 20 degrees, lining up outside the pubs waiting to be let in to watch the gold medal game at 5 a.m. The government
I
made
thought it was
special
the other way around, is it not?
No, the government made special allowances to serve alcohol at 5 a.m. When the pubs and bars opened, it was crowded, and Crosby scored. So this is the ice hockey, by the way, and
Hmm.
everyone was hugging, and basically everyone was completely out their tits at 7 o'clock in the morning because of the
Yeah.
ice hockey game. So it was Russia versus Canada in the finals in
Yeah, but
Canada.
it wasn't in Canada, it was in Russia.
I'm sure it's in Canada. Is it in
No,
Canada?
it was in the 2014 Winter Olympics was in
Oh no,
Sochi.
yeah. So it's in Russia, and then
It's the other way
Canada
around. Yeah, it's
stayed
just the
awake. Yeah,
exact same thing, just the other way around.
yeah. Just me reading the article wrong. So basically,
Yeah.
the Canadian government, which is part of the Commonwealth, by the way,
Hmm.
the Canadian government just said we're in the finals, Right,
Yeah.
everyone's getting wankered for this. I would have loved to have seen not the game, but the community behind it there.
Yeah, no. Shit, something's
That
gone
just put
wrong.
me right off that. I just looked at my screen. And I've completely lost my track. For anyone listening, Spork has just decided to put a weird jumpy man on the Twitch chat.
Yeah,
I,
jumpy
I don't
man.
even know what that's about. Uh,
I don't even know what it's about either. All
what
them
is it?
emotes are weird.
I
It's a little
don't know
man
what
just
that
jumping
is.
up in the air. He just
Well,
goes
I,
wee,
I get that.
wee.
Um, I just
Whee!
back
Whee!
to yeah. Back to this. So, who actually won this game? Was it Canada?
Canada did, yeah. I
Canada.
believe I've been reliably informed that that
By
little
Google.
emote is from Roblox.
It does look like it's Roblox, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was Canada that won it.
Yeah, it was Canada that won it. They always win it.
I can't. I would not stay outside in -20-degree weather. So it must be the north of Canada. It couldn't have been by the US Canada line. It must have been a bit
Yeah.
further north, more towards the Alaska border and stuff, or towards Iceland border, essentially. So -20. I'd cry. Do you know what I wouldn't be
Yeah.
doing? I wouldn't be injecting my pee with that acid.
No, for sure not.
And would your urine freeze at that temperature as it comes out?
Don't know. Well, I have been in -20 weather before.
I don't think I've been in minus
I've
20. I think
never peed outside. I've been in -26, I think is the coldest I've been in.
I go outside in 0 degrees, and the first thing I do is sit inside and turn the heating on in my car so I can spend as little time as possible in the cold weather. And the minute I get out, I'm going, in the car, Mary. Get in the car now. Too cold out here. No, no. Bad weather. Because I just don't like the cold weather.
Yeah,
I
because I
hate.
remember one time when I went, the last time I went snowboarding actually,
Did you stick a
I
flute up
went,
you?
no, it was like -26 the morning that I was leaving to go back to the airport. So I went from -26, and when we came back to Dublin, it was extremely unusual weather for the middle of February. It was 16 degrees the day I arrived. So it was a temperature shift from -26 to 16 degrees. I was in shorts and a t-shirt for a couple of days.
So temperature shift of 42 degrees.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
It's a
That's some
big
climate
jump,
change
like.
shit. That is. You
Yeah.
need Dr. House to come along and give a
That
medical diagnosis for that shit.
that and the altitude difference. It was great fun.
Oh God, yeah. I see. I need a very specific temperature, really. I don't
Yeah.
like it too cold, and I don't like it below 19, and I don't like it above 20.
Yeah.
That's the temperature I need it. I'm very specific with temperature.
You're like your one with the three bears and the porridge, aren't you?
Look, Goldilocks.
Yeah, that's the one. Couldn't
You
remember her
had to
name for the
forget
life
her
of me.
name then.
Yeah.
Because you going, who was that bitch that ate the
Yeah.
porridge?
You know your one. It was a Cinderella. No.
If that story
Snow
was true,
White.
she would have got
No.
her face ripped off. There
Oh,
would have been no
completely. Like.
Goldilocks. The bears would have
Yeah.
seen that Goldilocks ate the porridge and went, you know what, you're for dinner.
But then, if it was a true story, what bear makes porridge
Of course they can if you not met yoga.
and and live in a house?
Yeah, in the woods.
No,
Houses are
Lance.
made of
Just
wood.
no.
Woods are made of wood.
No,
Bears can live in
Lance.
houses in the
No.
wood. Right, if you got a lumberjack, or if you got a builder to build a house in the woods, and that builder then pissed off and left his house there, when he comes back, there's going to be a bear chilling in his living room.
Yep.
You might not be able to turn the telly on or anything, but there's going to be a bear chilling in his living room.
Mm.
But yeah, so that was the story about Canada, who kept the pub open all night yeah, who opened the pubs at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm guessing 4 a.m. so they could serve alcohol
Yeah.
at 5 a.m. for an ice hockey game as Canada were in the final. So, Spooker, how many stories have you done so far? How many little
I've
facts?
done two, Lance. You've done two.
So, should we move on to our stories? Just one story each, though.
Sure. I'm going to do one.
Good.
Did you know, Lance? Did you
Nope.
know? Since 1988, horny athletes have enjoyed a seemingly unlimited supply of free condoms.
Yes, I do.
Available
You know
in the
what?
Olympic Village.
You know what?
But
I
there was
sent you this.
I had already researched this.
Yes, no, I mean, I sent you this a couple of weeks ago on Discord.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
when it came up, I
Lance,
thought, you robbing
yeah.
bastard. Yeah, go on, carry on.
But there must have been something in the air in Milan because this year's 2,800 Olympians blew through roughly 10,000 condoms in the first 3 days of the Olympics.
It was over the first weekend, wasn't it? They just
Yeah,
went
the
through the whole
first three
lot.
days. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the International Olympic Committee has confirmed the condom shortage, but blaming higher than anticipated demand, and said that they
Inflated
plan to
demand. All the
and
athletes are blowing them up like balloons.
and said that they plan to continuously replenish the supply until the end of the games. Now, funnily enough, there was a great interest in getting the extra large one from the male ski jumpers for some reason. I don't
Oh,
know
what's
why.
that? Oh, I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
The problem is that they just kept burning off due to all the acid. Uh, rubber and acid do not mix, do they?
No.
The funny little bastards.
Yeah.
That's the only
Little
way I can
rampant
describe
little
that.
guy. They were running around going,
I've just done some snowboarding. Come here, love.
get over here.
Jesus. You know what? Can you imagine the athletes before they go talking to their partners or whatever? Go, don't worry, it's a professional sporting competition, the pinnacle of
Yeah.
sport right now. And the minute they get there, right, pants off, everyone, let's do this. But I just, what the thing that I want to know, well, I don't want to know.
Yeah, you do.
The thing that comes to my mind is they're all quite young anyway. Like most of
Yeah.
we was talking about this
Yeah.
and about their ages because me and you feel old and we're not even that old.
Yeah.
And compared to some of the athletes on there, what
When they're
16?
talking about like veteran snowboarders and they're like 34 and say, oh,
Yeah,
fuck
and you're
you.
going what? uh, and the government says you can work till you're 70 in the UK, yeah.
Mm,
And sure, yeah, let's put a 70-year-old on a snowboard. Let's see him do that. Jesus, he'd be like a elder snowboarding, whatever it'd
yeah.
be, tribal chief. But
With
what I
long
want to
grey
know
beard and stuff.
is all those condoms were used and stuff like that.
Yeah.
First of all, where are they all going? Because someone's bin is going to be gammy. That's
Yeah,
going to be a
buried in the
nasty
snow.
ass rubbish disposal place, isn't it?
Just buried
Because
them in the snow.
so when that snow melts,
Yeah, let springtime sort it out.
so there's going to be a lot of kids blowing up balloons in the spring, then, isn't there? Um,
Yeah, sticky ones.
Also, I want the comparison. I want the chart to show how much lube was sold because you
Mm,
know that there's going to be some dirty ones that use the same one twice. You know that there's going to be multiple people involved in some of them.
yeah.
Uh, How much lube was sold during this as well?
Like, I mean, the bobsleigh teams, like, they're already in that position, aren't they?
Oh, that's true. That's true. They just had it on ready to go
Yeah.
as they jumped in. Just oh, there it is. That's
Let's
not
go with the
coming out of
double
there for a while.
bobsleigh.
How did the Jamaicans do in their bobsled? I don't actually remember.
Don't know. They were they in it this year?
Say that again.
Were they in it this year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
That's
was in
why
1988 as well.
Jamaican bobsled
The
team
team that
2026 results. I want to know. I genuinely want to know where they came due to cool runnings. Uh, Four-man teams. They came 19th and 21st
hmm.
in a four-man team. What?
Yeah, so maybe two events, or maybe a long track and a short track, is there?
How'd you how'd you come? Oh no, that's Brazil. I was looking at. They came 21st out of 23. They didn't come
Yeah.
last.
Didn't come last.
They didn't come last by 25, 0.27 milliseconds.
Hmm.
uh, Actually, the whole thing was quite close. They got 55.45, and Germany won it with 54.25. So it's only second, really. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was really hoping for something much better. But then again, saying that the last time they entered, they didn't even finish on in the bobsled. Remember, they carried
Was
it
that?
across the line.
Yeah, but that was like in 1988. That's what
Yeah,
that
but
team was based on.
it was a
I don't
different
think that was the
time.
last time they were in the Olympics.
Yeah, it was for the bobsledding. They just didn't come back after that. They did. They came back a few
Yeah.
years after that. I know they
Yeah.
did. But I just, I would love to, because this story of the whole condom fiasco was a big thing over here. It was in all the newspapers and stuff. Basically, everyone's really horny at the Olympics. So that means
Yeah.
all of those Olympians for Team GB, they would have come home and their parents are just going to be extremely disappointed as they come through the gates at Heathrow. Like,
Are they
everyone's
though?
cheering them, and like, their dads are just going to be looking at them going,
Well done, son.
That's what that's going to be him. He's just going to be tutting. He's just going to be looking at him, going, "I don't care if you got a gold. Tell me your arsehole's still intact."
Yeah, it doesn't have to be gay relations though, yeah, to use a condom.
Okay, I know you got a gold. Tell me your fanny's still intact.
Yeah, but what if it was like the the father could have been proud of his son?
Okay, I know you got a gold. Tell me you've kept it tucked in your pants.
Yeah, and all they're gonna say is, yeah, of course I did that. It was everybody else.
Yeah, of course I did. This is Tanya. She's pregnant. Not mine though.
Obviously not pregnant if he had to use protection, or maybe he got
uh,
in there after the condom shortage.
I don't know. Yeah, after exactly. No, I don't know. They do have a failure rate.
Yeah. And
Isn't
it
it
doesn't
one in a?
necessarily need to be between athletes either. It could have been between an athlete and a fan.
So basically, there's a hell of a lot of babies going to be born in Milan next year.
Yeah, 9 months time.
um, around 10,000, I reckon.
Yeah,
What
a
is
lot of
the
Christmas babies.
rate of? I'm just typing in. What is the failure rate of them? What due to due to human errors, the typical failure rate is 12 to 18%. So if 10,000 of them got used, that means approximately
A thousand.
1,800 babies
Yeah.
are going to be used. They're going to be born. Milan's
Yeah.
about to get a lot of people involved.
But then as well, you'd have to cross-reference the amount of times that intercourse has taken place to achieve pregnancy. So
Well,
there's a whole lot of
10,000 times,
variables in that.
obviously, on average.
Well, no. Like,
What?
if a man and a woman are trying to have a baby, they're not just going to do it once and she's pregnant. That's it. Like, we'll do it again in a few
If a man
months.
and a woman are trying to have a baby, it's not going to be a condom failure rate, is
No, but that's what I'm saying.
it?
Like, what are the chances of your condom failing and fertilizing an egg through that failed condom with one sexual intercourse session?
It's quite a high chance it can.
I wouldn't say so.
Oh, I think it is. This is what
I
I was
think it's
taught in
something
school.
we'll
If you,
look more into that on another time, Lance. We're running out of time
if
here.
you're scared of what comes out, don't put it in. That's what I was taught.
Mhm.
Right, yeah. So I've got to get my story back up now. Okay,
Yep.
so what was your story? The little sum up.
There was a 10,000 condoms used in the first 3 days in the Winter Olympics.
Dirty little bastards. Anyway, yeah.
Dirty, dirty,
Dirty, dirty,
dirty,
dirty, dirty. Spoken as a
dirty, dirty,
Catholic, he's
dirty,
extremely
dirty,
disappointed
dirty,
in you
dirty.
all.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't even believe in condoms until like the 90s.
You thought they were like the tooth fairy that just didn't exist.
they
The nuns have stashed them all.
were
Anyway,
they literally you weren't allowed to sell them in this country up until like the late 80s.
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, Spooker, did you know? Did you know? On January 6th, 1994, that the bugger, I've lost my thing. Basically, this article's not actually telling me. It did earlier. I don't think I took the screenshot properly.
Okay.
Uh, it just says in the Winter Olympics. So I think this was the figure skating, but there was in 1994, January 6th, Nancy was clubbed on the leg by a hitman hired by Tanya's ex-husband and her
Yeah.
bodyguard to prevent Nancy from competing. I think it was the figure skating. So
Yeah, it
basically,
was. It was the individual figure
yeah,
skating.
so that they hired a hitman to break the
Yeah.
girl's legs so that she couldn't actually compete. That is such a
Yeah.
messed up story. How jealous would you be?
Yeah, no.
And it was in Norway as well. And apparently it was Nancy Harding,
Lilyhammer.
and she was later banned for life from US Figure Skating Association.
Yeah,
Too
but the
right
other
she
one
was.
that got her leg clubbed, she recovered and won like a silver or bronze or something.
Yeah, yeah. She went on to win the silver in the 1994
Yeah,
Winter Olympics. How did she recover from getting a leg clubbed in?
because it probably happened a good bit before the Olympics.
Didn't it happen during the Olympics?
No, it didn't happen during. The take I got from it didn't happen during it. Because why would her ex-husband be at the games?
Well, that's true. But didn't
You know,
yeah, but and the bodyguard as well that was involved.
I think her ex-husband was the bodyguard.
I was it.
I didn't really read a huge amount into it, but the way I took the story when I read it was that her ex-husband was her bodyguard.
Uh, I've got it hired by Tanya's ex-husband and her bodyguard to prevent Nancy from competing. That
Okay, so
sounds to me
maybe
like it's two people.
it yeah, I don't know.
Right, hang on. Right, what's her name? Nancy Kerrigan. Who?
She was the victim, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah. Let's get the facts correct here. Uh, who clubbed Nancy Kerrigan? When a man loves a woman. The attack occurred in Cobo Arena in Detroit following a practice session, so just before the Olympics.
Yeah.
It was
So they
planned
obviously didn't
assault.
get the job done.
It was more than one person. So,
Yeah, so obviously it was her
assailant
husband
Shane
and
Stant, hired by Jeff Harding's ex-husband, and Sean Eckhart. So I'm guessing he was the bodyguard.
yeah.
So there was two of them involved, and they just clubbed a leg.
Yeah, and your one got banned for life
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
She wasn't banned. She was banned for perverting the course of justice or something.
yeah. And that's, to be honest, I personally, hats off to Nancy Kerrigan because
Yeah.
to go through that and then win silver,
Yeah.
that should be, she should have automatically got gold because she
Yeah,
was.
but then that wouldn't have been fair on the person who got gold then either, who
Well, it
had
wasn't
nothing
fair
to
on
do
her
with
to
it.
get a leg
Yeah,
clubbed
but
in.
it still had nothing to do with the person who won gold. She went out and she done her thing as best as she could.
Do you know what I've just realised as well?
Uh,
Both of them are from the US.
yeah, the US team like so obviously the one wanted to finish in front of the other one like.
Isn't it supposed to be representing your country at the pinnacle of sport?
Yeah, but these people are weird like because they're for like the rest
Oh,
of
that's
like the
just
4 years they're like individual people who are competing against each other all the time.
messed up.
Yeah.
Like, why
But I
would
think
you?
it's weird though because like in an individual sport like that, I mean, like you see it with all the snowboarders and everything. Like, did you see it even with the ski half pipe? I was watching that because the men's ski and half pipe final because the Irish guy was in it,
He
and
was, yeah. He fell
but
over.
they at the end of the final, he came in eighth. Screw you.
He fell over, but carry on.
He like they were all standing down at the end of the run. Like when each of them were going down, they all just kept on standing down at the end of the run. They're all congratulating each other and all.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
at the
Yeah,
end of it,
it
like
was nice to
like they
see.
were all
I
having a
did. Yeah,
yeah, they're having good crack. Like
this is
the
what I
Irish
said
guy
to.
was celebrating like he got the gold.
This is
He
something I
was
said
just
to Mary
delighted to be
actually.
there.
It's what I love about the Olympics. When you looked in the audience, the crowds weren't segmented away from each other. They were
Nah,
all
it's just
together, all
people.
waving their flags, and they're all
Yeah,
congratulating. I love that. Same as
it
rugby.
was
They
obviously
mix the
like big
crowds in.
groups of certain
Oh yeah,
like sections of support because
because
like
they
they'd
came
all
together.
probably have
It's
traveled together and everything,
yeah,
like
it's yeah.
groups
Spoken
all
movie
around.
controller.
Shit, mother!
Have you done it again? Because you've just stood up.
It didn't warn me again. It came out at like 5 seconds. I didn't have a chance. There was nothing on the screen.
For anyone listening on Spotify, basically this
God
game times
damn
you
it!
out after being not moving for a while. And last week
Yeah,
Sporky timed
except
out and
it's
left the game, and this week he's timed out and left the game. Right, let's quickly
but
do
it
our
doesn't give you any warning. Like
news stories. So go on,
it's
Sporky. Do
skittish.
you,
But that was my news story.
that wasn't your news story.
Oh, the other news, the news
Yeah,
news.
the actual.
Ah,
So this
okay.
part of the podcast,
Oh,
basically, we look at this week's tech news that's happened over this week, the main stories that have caught our eyeballs. So, Sporker, you can start us off. We're only going to do the two, I think. So, go on, Sporker,
okay.
you start us off.
I'm going to go with a BBC News report asking, is £70 becoming harder to justify the rise of cheaper blockbuster games?
I hope not.
Yeah, so basically the benchmark for blockbuster games now in the UK is £70.
Yeah, for
About €80
yeah, it's
in or
$80 for the
abouts.
American friends, so whatever that'll be in euros, I
Usually,
don't
like
know.
any of the top games over here, like 79.99
Yeah.
is the basic price for a game
See,
in
to
Ireland.
to me, there's certain games that may be worth that, but if they're going to
Mm,
start making games so expensive, they need to start telling you what the game's going to involve.
yeah,
So they
you
need to
see,
tell you how
it's
much
different if you're
content is on
paying
there.
like £80 for the game, and then there's in-game purchases as well. Like that's a bit much.
Well, no, it's just I want to know how much content is in that game. If I'm going to spend 80 quid or
Yeah.
70 quid on a game, and if I set it home and I complete that game within, say, 7 hours, I'm going to
Hmm.
be quite annoyed because that's going to be something like £10 per hour.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money for a game, considering there'll be cutscenes involved and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
for
it won't
sure.
all be as fun as I would want it to be. To me, it wouldn't be worth
Whereas a
£10
game like
an hour.
there's a game like Gran Turismo, you're getting great value for money there.
But this is what I mean. I just want to know. I'd want to know. And I think
Yeah.
there needs
You
to
see,
be
as well as
tighter
that,
regulation.
there's games have become different now with like online content and stuff as well, and like online multiplayer. Back when I was a nipper, like there was no internet, and
Oh yeah,
like
that's when we
it
used
was
to have
just
LAN parties.
yeah. But even at that, like even before LAN parties, like there was like you'd have like two-player games split screen.
Yeah, but both you want to. I remember the old PS1 where you would play and it was just a split screen. I think that was
Yeah,
the same on PS2, and then PS3 is where the
PS2,
online started
PS
to really come into its
early
effect.
PS3 was mostly like split screen, and then it
Well,
started going in like
Call of
all the
Duty
Call of
Black Ops 1
Duties.
was
Yeah,
multiplayer, the online multiplayer.
Call of
PS2,
Duty 4. Call of Duty 4, the original Call of Duty 4 was one of the big
yeah,
contenders for the
yeah, it was.
made online gaming
But if you
huge.
want to go back far enough, the earliest one I can remember, and there may be more viewers, let us know. Send us an email, talk to us on our Discord, anything like that, let us know. The
Yeah.
earliest one I can remember is SOCOM, US Navy SEALs. And that
Yeah.
one, you had to attach your PlayStation 2 directly up to your modem in order to connect to the internet, and then you could play SOCOM. I think was it SOCOM 2? It's SOCOM US Navy SEALs, and you could then play online and that, and it was terrible
Yeah.
because I did it.
There's
That's the
what was
earliest
the
I can
game?
remember for online play. Can't really remember much more before that.
I
But
used to do LAN parties, like me and my brother used to do them all the time. We had two PCs at home, and they were just
I,
basically just connected to each other.
yeah, I did a LAN party, but it was at my mate's house. So there'd be like
Mm.
four of us that used to just carry, and they weren't small PCs at that time.
Yeah.
You just, I was trying to carry them to each other's houses. It was unbelievable. But that's
I had
just
a
what we
really
used to
small
do.
PC in the 80s, Lance.
Yeah, that's what my PC pretty much was from the 80s. But that's what we
No,
used to
if
do.
you had a PC from the 80s, you'd know about it.
Oh, believe me, I did. Mine didn't have discs. It only had floppy disks, so it didn't have CDs.
I had a compact luggable was my first computer.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
It was
mine was.
basically like a really, really heavy laptop.
I can't even remember what version of Windows mine was running. It was the
I
one
didn't have Windows
before Windows 98.
95.
Was it 95? It could have been 95.
Yeah, it was 95 was the first of the new Windows. It was Windows 3.1 before that,
Yeah, which
3.11
was just a pain in
or
the ass to navigate around.
3.12.
And God, we're showing our age too much now. But yeah, I think £70. I also want tighter regulation on the games. So if you remember when Cyberpunk came out, Cyberpunk
Yeah.
2027, the amount of bugs in it was unreal. We play
Yeah.
Fortnite and they've just released an update. The amount of bugs and glitches and exploits we've seen for that now, there's actually a dedicated controller to help cheat the game with auto
But
aim
even
and
like
stuff like that on it.
even with that, like yesterday on Fortnite, how many times did I have to restart my game because the sound went
Yeah, yeah.
that
Sound
I
just
couldn't
cut
talk
out.
to y'all?
But if you're
Yeah,
going to
I just
start
couldn't
being,
talk to them. Like,
I know that Fortnite is a free game, and if you want to download it, you can download it from the Epic Store. It's available on Android,
yeah,
most games consoles, stuff like that. So just if anyone does want to get it out there,
yeah,
we're not sponsored by Fortnite. Just
no,
clarify that. If you want to sponsor us, go ahead, but we're not.
yeah.
Um,
Get in touch, Epic.
yeah, just send us an email. Yeah,
We
pressbacktc
don't
at
mind selling
outlook.com.
our souls.
um,
We're okay with that.
uh, but I think there does need to be, if you're going to pay that much and you get the game and it's just full of bugs and it's just not
Yeah,
really playable, and you've paid that much money for it, you're going to need regulation behind it. You're going to need, like, GTA 6. I'm really looking forward to.
yeah.
Not looking forward to the amount of bugs, because we know that there's still bugs in GTA 5
Huge
because we've
bugs in
seen
GTA
them,
5.
and there's loads of them. How many times have we got stuck in a wall on GTA 5?
Yeah.
It's it, it needs to be tighter regulation if you're going to start charging that much money for a game. Some games
Stuck
are
in the floor
incredibly
that
fun.
one time.
The Final Fantasy Remake 3 is coming out either end of this year or next year, hopefully. And it's also been ported over to the Switch as well for Final Fantasy Rebirth.
42.
Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is the 7 part 2.
Yeah.
And that's been ported over to the Switch too and stuff, which Mary doesn't want, so she's a disappointment to me. Uh, she's not. I love my wife very much. Um,
Huh?
but and I know that when the new one comes out, I'm probably going to be spending around that £100 mark to get the special collector's edition version of it, because
Yeah,
I
but
have
that's
the collector's edition of all the others. It's something that I collect. So there are certain games that I will pay that much money for because I really enjoy them. But if I get that game and it's full of bugs and all sorts of stuff, and then it needs another year while they sort out all the bugs, and I have to wait for the patches and all that sort of crap, I'm going to be really annoyed with it, and it's going to be a massive fan base letdown. So that's why I think there should be more regulation behind it. Companies should be forced to give players money back if that does happen,
yeah.
because it's obviously their time they've wasted. It's disappointment. There needs to be some form of compensation for it, especially when you're paying the 70, 80 quid, 150 quid for some games. You mentioned FC 2026 earlier,
Yeah, that's like the ultimate version of that's like €110.
which is, yeah. And if you start it up and your player kicks the ball and immediately you can't see the ball because the bugs made it vanish, you're going to be
Hmm.
going, what the feck is this? But yeah, what was your sum up for that story, Booker?
So basically, people are just starting to question, are games worth the 70 quid price tag?
Yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I say, it definitely
Like the
needs
game
more.
manufacturers basically need to up their game if they want to start charge that price. Like it's rumored that like GTA 6 is going to be $100, which is just going to put it out of the price range of a lot of people. So
Yeah,
they're going to have to make sure it's well worth buying.
but I'm not too worried about it for GTA 6, to be quite honest with you, because I still think there's going to be a lot of content involved, and we've seen some of the patents that they've taken out
Yeah,
on some of the
but
stuff
even
they've got
that, like I
involved.
mean, look at GTA 5, like the amount of years that that's been going.
Yeah, and the amount of content it's got as well.
Like
However, with
GTA
GTA
5
6,
hasn't been full price for a few years, so
no, it doesn't. The only thing that's worrying me with GTA 6 is, are they making it for the PS6? Just like they did with
I'd
GTA
say,
5. They brought it out on the PS3, mainly on the PS4, but you didn't ever get the full game until it came out on the PS5.
yeah,
That's when you got the full game. But anyway, yeah. So my brilliant story of the week. I sent this one to you during the week. Is the US are loving friends over the pond. Um,
yeah,
the Seppos for all our Australian people.
the
The
what?
US, the Australians call them the Seppos.
Did I?
Yeah, the US spent $30 billion to ditch textbooks for laptops and tablets. The result is the first generation less cognitively capable than their parents. Basically, it's made them
Yeah.
stupider.
Is it
But
stupider or more stupid?
It can be either, I think. Depends which way you do it. So,
I don't
for,
think stupider
for
is a word.
stupider is a word.
I don't think so.
You're getting stupider?
No, I think it's always you're getting more stupid. Stupider is just like a.
I don't know. Maybe it's an American word, which would make that sense then, wouldn't it?
There you go. Just
Uh,
proving the point.
is stupider a word? Yes, it is.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, it's the comparative adjective to stupid, and it is
Hmm.
in the Oxford Dictionary. just to point that out. And for anyone who doesn't know, I just want to make sure I'm telling you the correct information. I'm going to get the actual definition of cognitive. Everyone that hears this word, and I had to study it for a while, but I want to get the actual definition. So this is relating to the process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experiences, and senses. So what this basically means is people that are using computers and laptops to do their learning, they aren't able to experience stuff and learn it as well as people
Yeah.
who read it
They're
from a book
basically
or
not
actually went out and
learning
got
it.
hands on. Yeah,
They're not discovering the thing, finding it out, and learning it. They're just
yeah.
being.
Because I think it's an entire generation of people that have looked at YouTube tutorials and then they go to do it themselves, realize it's too difficult, and say screw it.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
but when I was, because I do a lot of fixing with my hands and stuff like that. But sometimes I do it with my feet, sometimes I do it with
Sure.
my nostrils. Just depends
Fixing.
how I feel. And
Fixing with your hands. Yeah,
but
yeah.
when I was younger, I used to break all the stuff that I tried to fix because I was still learning, but I was learning with my hands and I was learning to do it. I didn't read it from a book. I picked up the object and I just went for it. It's the same as PCs. I can tell you, I can build a PC in like if you give me the components, it's going to take me 10, 15 minutes at most, depending on what the components are. Some might take longer, but some might be quicker. It's to me, it's very simple. It's just the process of the way things going. But when I was growing up, I used to build PCs in my mum's living room, and I learned to do it from that. And because of that, I then learned to fix PCs. I learned to identify components that are wrong in the PC. So if I was to say to you, um, that your RAM's, well, you probably know this anyway, but if I'd say to some people your RAM's not slotted correctly because you're getting the error code 2-1-2, then I'm actually talking about a Dell error code. I can't remember if it is 2-1.2, but I think it's actually 1-2 or 2-1. Anyway, yeah, tangent. So, but I would know by looking at it, that's an error code, probably the RAM, and I'd reslot the RAM. Whereas a lot of people wouldn't because they've looked at a YouTube tutorial that's told them to check the CPU, to check the power supply, to check all the cables, and they've given up because they've looked at it on a
Yep.
computer or tablet. They've never experienced putting it together themselves in the first place, so they wouldn't know what a RAM's supposed to look like in the PC. They wouldn't know that it's not seated correctly because they don't know how it's supposed to be seated in the first place because they didn't put it in the first place. To give you an example that you might understand a bit better, actually, Sporker, if I gave you a Lego, trying to think what you've told me you've built in the past now, have you got an X-wing?
No, I've got Optimus Prime.
Okay, if I was to give you the Lego Optimus Prime and take a few pieces out that are quite fairly obvious pieces, like not inside but something on the outside,
Yeah.
because you built it, you would know that those pieces are supposed to be there,
Uh huh.
and you'd be able to say, "Oh, this is missing and this is missing." But to someone who I've just handed it to and said, "What's missing?" they'd go, "How the fuck do I know?"
Yeah.
You're having a giggle. And I think to change everything from textbooks to laptops, you're not experiencing it.
No.
In school, when you had a textbook, it got accompanied by an experiment or an example. It didn't
Yeah.
get accompanied by a screen. It's as simple as that. We need to be doing stuff in order to develop our creative skills and our cognitive ability. I just went off on a rampage there, really, then, didn't I?
You did really.
Damn US.
Yeah. So basically, it just says that like they done tests for like on 15-year-olds, like back
Yeah.
then and now, and they've got lower test results scores. Like these are like standardized tests in America, so like it's basically like a basic IQ
The,
test,
the
and they're
only
just lower.
problem I've got with this article is it is specific to America, and
Yeah,
without offending
because
the US, their educational system isn't brilliant. It's
no, but that's
quite
what I
poor.
mean. But it's still a comparative study between back then and now. It doesn't matter
It,
how good it is
but
or how bad it is.
I would
Like it would be
like
the
to
same
know.
as doing it'd be same as doing a comparative study over here
Well, this is what I'd like
or
to.
over
I
in
would
the
like to do the
UK.
same comparison to a country that's more hands-on, because
Yeah,
it could
but
be that there's
we
people
don't.
in their communities that aren't being hands-on as well. The adults
But
aren't being
that's
hands-on.
but that's the thing about like over here is only really they're only starting to introduce like laptops and tablets into schools over here. Like most of the schools still don't use them.
No, my brother is now in his mid-20s, and he had to have a laptop at school when he started senior school,
Yeah,
and
but I
that
bet you
was
they still had textbooks and stuff as well.
yeah because we're not stupid enough to put
Yeah,
everyone behind a screen.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like my niece and nephews, they're in school at the moment, and they have like laptops and tablets and stuff, but they still have their textbooks and workbooks.
I'm not sure my brother did have textbooks to work from. But yeah, I would like the comparison to a more hands-on country to
Yeah,
see. To just to go with just the US that has a pretty poor. No offense to the Americans, but compared to most of the world now, the American educational system, the only thing that they learn is what a 9mm is. That's pretty
yeah.
much the only thing Americans learn now.
Oh, I've been looking at it. There's a series of reels comes up on my social media at the moment, and it's a guy interviewing people, like people who are involved with like
Yeah, I've seen that.
OnlyFans,
Yeah,
and they're just oh my god.
yeah, I
Even like
know.
about like American geography and everything, even stuff that I know, I wouldn't be like really well up on like American geography or anything like that, and it's like just basic questions that like I thought everybody in the world knew, but
What's
like
the capital of America? I'm sure he asked that one at one
yeah,
point.
and they're like, yeah, and the girl he asked was like, "There's a capital of America?
Yeah,
No,
and
every
you just go
state
in.
has its own capital. There's no capital of America." I was like, "Oh my god!" Or name three countries outside the U.S. and one of them said Texas.
Yeah,
You
and she
know,
named an
just
entire state at one point as well, didn't her?
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
it's like, what are you
yeah,
doing? This is what I mean. Like, it's they're. Don't get me wrong. Some Americans are incredibly intelligent, and I've named them on this podcast
yeah.
before. So
Like I
we've
mean,
got
they've
like
got
Neil
like,
deGrasse Tyson, incredibly
but they've got
intelligent
like
man.
amazing colleges and stuff that are still world renowned, and like
Yeah,
people travel from around the
but
world to go to
to
these
on
colleges.
if you
It's
was
just
to
getting
average it
there is the
all out,
problem.
yeah, if you was to
Yeah.
average it all out, and because it's so expensive over there and there's no student loans and stuff, you're losing educational value there.
That's what I
For
mean. And it's getting there as an American to get to the
yeah,
point of going into college to those high level colleges. It's incredibly difficult.
yeah. I just think they need to improve. Then they need to invest in young people a little bit more.
Yeah.
Essentially, stop thinking it's about shareholders and monetary value all the time. Sometimes
Yeah.
education is just going to bring forward a country a lot more than developing brand new nukes. Anyway, right, let's end the podcast there. So,
Yes, we shall. And on that bombshell, literally.
I like what you did there.
Yeah,
Uh,
did you see that?
nice little reference to Jeremy Clarkson, who's currently being sued because a woman fell over on a metal sheet. But I'll tell you about that in a bit. Anyway, yes, thank you very much for watching. This has been Talking on the Couch. As you can see, Sporker has vanished because he forgot to move his controller again
Yay!
for the
It
second
didn't
week
come up
running
with the
now.
notification.
For the
Another
second week
bug with
running.
GTA 5. Sometimes it doesn't come up with the countdown timer.
uh, remember to check out our other channels. So we got the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitch, the Twitter, the Discord, the YouTube. If you want to join us on Discord, it is discord.gg/TGS39DNUB3 for the AI there. For when it wants to give us the description, that's discord.gg/TGS39DNUB3 algorithm. Remember, you can listen to this. Remember the Blue Skies One. You can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. Thank you very much for listening. We hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. You can then put we're a bunch of ball bags, but just
Yeah.
give us a 5-star review. I've been Lonesism,
I've been Sporka.
and this has been Winter Olympics Talking on the
And
Couch.
don't forget, people, don't forget not to showboat when you're sliding down a hill.